Hello and welcome back to this Library of Ruina series. In this video, we'll be taking on the fourth phase of the Keter Realization, Splinter. This fight is one of the harder phases in my opinion, so let's get started. For this phase, you want to prioritize blunt damage because the enemies are weak to blunt. Because of this, I brought purple tier, but I have both blunt and guard stance built. They're basically identical, but one of them has a creek instead of Gugugu because you only get 3 copies of that page. For passives, she has Meowgust and blunt dice power. My other 3 librarians were Olivier, Eileen, and Elena, but you could run pretty much anyone. Their decks were all 3 ominous power, 3 deep drag, 3 loss of senses with double blunt power and high level acrobatics. It's not optimal, but my brain was pretty fried, and as long as you can survive the first portion of the fight, it isn't too hard. To help with that, Angela gets 3 new ego pages. The expectation for the meaning of existence mirrors Gold Rush being a 5-cost mass individual, rolling 5 to 15 blunt and restoring 1 light on hit and gaining 1 strength next scene on hit. The Courage to Protect mirrors Dipsia being a 5-cost mass summation, rolling 17 to 28 slash and recovering 5 HP on hit and getting 1 strength next scene on hit, as well as giving the enemy 5 bleed and 1 strength next scene on hit. Finally, Those Who Are Faithful and Trustworthy mirrors Faded Memories being a 5-cost mass individual, rolling 5 to 10 slash, 5 to 9 blunt, with both attacks making all allies draw 1 page if it hits at least once. Aside from Gold Rush, these pages aren't a part of the strategy, so just use them when you have the chance. Splinter has 300 HP, 250 stagger, is slash ineffective, pierce injured, blunt stagger weak, and has 5 passives. Biting Wind makes all librarians lose 5% of their max HP at the start of the scene. Reticent Frigidity makes them take no damage from attacks until all the prisons of ice are destroyed, as well as making them take no damage from burn or bleed. Frost Column gives her speed dice and max light based on the number of destroyed prisons of ice, and if there are 2 or more prisons of ice that have been destroyed, adds a melee page to the deck. Those Who Know the Cruelty of Winter and the Aroma of Roses makes all librarians recover 50% of their max HP when all the prisons of ice are destroyed, and makes Splinter use a mass attack on that scene. And finally, Cold-Hearted, which makes Splinter immune to immobilization. The prisons of ice have 100 HP, 100 stagger, are stagger ineffective, slash damage ineffective, blunt damage weak, and have 1 passive, Kind Gerda, which frees an imprisoned librarian next scene when the prison of ice dies. Their deck consists of 2 cards. Crystallize rolls 5 to 8, 4 to 8, 4 to 8 block, with all of them dealing 4 stagger damage as well as inflicting 1 fragile next scene on Clash Win. Their other page, Bitter Cold, rolls 8 to 8 block. They'll be alternating between the 2, but for now your main goal is survival, as all of your assistant librarians will be frozen into prisons. Splinter's deck consists of a few cards. Splinters is a ranged page rolling 4 to 8, 4 to 7 pierce, with 2 4 to 8 block counter dice. Using either Shyness or Token of Friendship here will be best. Token of Friendship especially because you'll need to recover your stagger during this fight for sure. First Kiss is a ranged page that rolls 6 to 10 pierce, 5 to 8, 4 to 8 block, with the pierce inflicting 3 chill on hit. Chill is a status defect which makes it so that if the character has 4 or more chill, they get 2 bind and feeble at the start of the scene, and if they have 6 or more, they become immobilized and all the chill gets removed. 1 chill is also lost at the start of each scene. You can beat this page with either Coffin or Display of Affection, but Coffin will often have you take some stagger damage from the evade dice clash into the block dice, so it's probably better to use Display of Affection. Second Kiss is a melee page rolling 5 to 9, 5 to 8 slash, both inflicting 1 chill on hit, and it has a 4 to 8 block counter that inflicts 1 chill on Clash Win. It's best to use Shyness to mitigate this one. You can use Token of Friendship, but it's basically a coin flip, and losing the evade feels really bad. Once you've freed 1 librarian, she'll get Frigid Gaze, which rolls 4 to 8 block, 7 to 12 blunt, with the blunt giving Splinter 2 strength next scene on Clash Win. She'll also recover 6 HP in stagger to the ally with the lowest current HP on use, and it has a 4 to 8 block counter that inflicts 1 chill on Clash Win. I generally just ignore this page because I don't want to give Splinter strength, but be wary of counter dice and hanging defensive dice. I decided to free my purple tier first because they have the strongest deck in Meowgust, but for the first couple of turns, my dice are completely tied up with clashing into Splinter. What I like to do is, on scene 3, if my purple tier's prison is casting Crystallize, I use the Rationality to maintain discretion, and if they're using Bitter Cold, I use the Hope to be a better person. On the next scene, I use whichever one I didn't use. On the next cycle, I use the Fearlessness to keep on living against Bitter Cold, and the Expectation for the Meaning of Existence against Crystallize. Of course, if I need the light to clash into Splinter, then that takes precedence. Once you've freed 3 librarians, Splinter will add 3rd Kiss to her deck, which will 7 to 11 slash, 5 to 8 block, 5 to 7 blunt, with the slash inflicting 3 chill on hit, the block inflicting 1 chill on clash win, and the blunt dealing bonus damage based on the target's chill. Since you have some of your librarians free, you can clash into this more effectively with exposed weakness or loss of senses, but display of affection works fine as well. Once you free your first librarian, the fight becomes much easier as you can more reliably kill the prisons or redirect attacks away from Angela. Once you free all your librarians, Splinter will cast Blizzard, which is a mass individual rolling 10 to 12, 12 to 15 blunt, both inflicting 4 chill on hit. For this, you're probably gonna just try and beat the 1 and tank the 2. Deep Drag, Coffin, and Exposed Weakness work best to that end. After that, the fight is pretty simple as Splinter is rather fragile. The main difficulty is freeing that first librarian, as there'll be times where you just randomly lose the clash with your token of friendship and take a bunch of stagger damage, but once you get there you shouldn't have too many problems. One sneaky thing you can do is if your purple tier is going to get immobilized from chill, you can switch to guard stance to prevent it because they have the same deck, or you could honestly just only use the guard stance if you don't care about the 2 power. In the next video, we'll be taking on the next phase of the Keter Realization, Remorse. I'll see you soon, and as always, thank you for watching.